I'm going to be impulsive. It's almost like 1 o'clock, so I have to be quick and impulsive. But the thing I find really frustrating in society is definitely the cost of everything and the sacrifice that mothers have to make, and then like people wondering why people don't have more babies, right? So I have ADHD, but I've been suspecting for a while that I have. I'm smiling because it's just a response to how ludicrous it is. But I had this moment going like, like, why, what's wrong with me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking like, I'm doing the best that I can with 2 disorders and having depression, seasonal affective disorder, um, combined, all of this together, and running into deadlines that I've already passed and trying to get things completed and trying to balance life and reading and watching videos of people talking about not having relationships. And it's just really interesting how in my 20s I had someone that told me that I didn't need help because I was doing well in school. And this is a thing that happens with people who are autistic, have ADHD, depression, or they have both or all three. And they're like, okay, so I look like I'm doing okay. And I am, technically on paper, people like me are doing okay. But we don't fit into society because we can't complete goals in the way people expect and demand. And this is why when you work with, autistic individuals of any kind, I never really care too much for strict, rigid ABA systems because there's no flexibility. You're trying to teach kids to be flexible, and you're unflexible. And our society is very rigid in a lot of interesting ways. And so, as a mother, my duty is to look after my son and pay for bills regarding him. And for the most part, I do that. But then I'm thinking to myself, well, I could use some help. But that's not going to happen because I would need the money for that. And so when the society likes to blame autistic people and ADHD people, they don't see the ADHD autism cost, because there is a cost. There's a financial cost. There is a punishment cost. So, like, for instance, if you forget to pay bills and they go on and on, you get charged fees. There's a cost in terms of sometimes legal stuff happens to people who are autistic and ADHD because they're trying to do the right thing all the time. We know what the right thing to do is, but we're working with a processing problem in our brain, or say you have like a lot of files in your brain and you're trying to get your computer to work faster, but there's too much that the computer can't handle that stuff that quickly, and so it might shut down. So if you have a phone that's too much information, too many pictures, too many documents, eventually sometimes what happens, if you run out of space, your phone will just shut down on you. And so that is what happens to people like us, is we have things in the background of our head that we know we have to do, and we're trying really hard to not forget about it, because the moment it's unseen, it's forgotten about. But because of our struggles to complete tasks, it's in the buffer, and there's no space for anything else. And so we feel so bad about it, and we're like thinking to ourselves, like, why am I like this? Why am I like this? And it's not fair. It's so unfair. And for anyone that says that life is good for autistic people, for ADHD people, you're clueless. Because we're paying a higher cost in society than neurotypicals are. And so some of us who are wise and smart, they catch on fast and quick. Sometimes you just say, you know what, the one kid is good. The one kid's good. I don't feel like paying a heavier cost to my well-being, I don't want to like run into, like, because we get to a point we realize at some point the kid's going to get older, things are going to get easier, meaning things will get back to kind of being more functional for us. There will be more acceptable to society again, because there's, but there's no support systems for us because our kids are more important. There's no one cares about us, and that's just the truth. And I know some people are gonna think that's not true, and I think you're full of shit.